This is KCR, the sound of state.
Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hello, my lovely humans. Welcome to Scarlett Letter Show, episode 10. I'm your favorite alien host, Scarlett Santamaria. And before presenting my guests, I want to share my thoughts about the battle between underground and mainstream electronic music. Oh yeah, you already know. Although music is supposed to unite us, we're continuously being torn apart by personal judgments, differences in subgenres, and arrogance from music purists. This has been an ongoing issue that happens over and over when new genres arise and are eventually placed in different categories like old school and new school when they become more prevalent in the industry. Hip-hop, alternative rock, disco, and EDM all originated from underground sounds and communities. These genres were once part of the occult, music that you will never hear on the radio. But as more people got exposed to them, their popularity increased, and soon enough, they evolved to be the dominant sounds of their era. In the past 10 years, electronic dance music transitioned from small illegal warehouse raves to breaking into mainstream America with massive festivals offering an experience of a lifetime. Unfortunately, there are people that think they're too good for EDM events because they believe that everything is ghost-produced, pre-recorded, and all they're going to get are DJs screaming in the mic, telling them to put their hands up in the air. In contrast, there are others that think underground events are full of pretentious and snobby hipsters who only play other people's music that always ends up sounding like the same repetitive beat. It's true that there's always a good and bad side of everything, like most things in life. But both scenarios provide unique experiences that are catered to specific target audiences. And of course, a lot has changed in the way music is delivered. Before, there would be one DJ playing for hours using vinyl records and mixing live without relying on a sync button. And now, thanks to the technological advances, we have producers who simply use DJing as a tool to present their music to their listeners. So not one is better than the other. And change is inevitable. We need to accept that electronic music will keep evolving and learn to respect each subgenre's differences. Don't let negativity consume you and just live and let live, man. Like, we're meant to be a community that is welcoming and free of judgment. Whatever happened to Plur? I think we should bring that back. How about that? So now, it's time to introduce my guest and give a big welcome to the superstar sitting right in front of me, DJ Ideal. How you doing tonight?
What's up? That was beautiful.
Thank you. Anything you want to add?
Oh, man. I mean, if that's the way we're going to go, then I think this is all going to be about that. No, I mean, what can I add to that? You tapped on a lot of the different aspects that I believe are important for anybody that's getting into dance music today.
Yeah.
And also for people that have been in it for a long time, for them to remember where they came from.
For everyone.
Because, you're right. For me, Plur hasn't left. You know, it's still within me.
Yeah,
I'm a raver
that's all
at
that
heart.
matters, that it's right here in the heart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a raver at heart.
Me too.
I from being a Candy Kid raver back in the days to what I've progressed to today, you know.
If you see my pictures from back in the day, like all my arms were full of candy, all colorful, like for sure.
Yeah, my raver name used to be Raver Tommy, and you know, like there's this other identity I think as a raver that you were and are able to tap into.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not your normal self.
And it's just like, people just forget that, you know, when you say like, you're going to a rave, it's like, oh, it's not a rave, it's a festival. Or like, it's not EDM, it's like electronic music. It's like the same thing. Like, just people like to put labels on things.
It is, but you know, I feel like the labels progressed, right? Like you said, when it started as just warehouse raves, etc., that's all it was.
Yeah.
But then the more that there became more of an identity with what people were able to associate with, and then as each sector developed itself, the nightclubs didn't used to be as big as nightclubs are now.
No,
the raves, festivals didn't used to be festivals; they used to be massives, and before they were massives, they were raves, and before they were raves, they were underground, etc.
Yeah.
But they've all evolved, and so it's really cool that each sector has gotten to have its own piece,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that any one of them is
It's better than the other. Exactly. That's like
it's
the
all
whole
the
point.
same.
It's just like respect each other.
Yeah.
All right. So, could you tell me what genres do you DJ, produce, mix?
Sure. Predominantly now in my present day, I'll say the last 5 years or so, it's been between house, tech house, and techno.
All right.
And I made essentially it was me making a return to that from when I originally started. Taking it. On
Were
a
you
more
doing
serious
something
way.
else before?
Yeah. So let's say like in the early 2000s, I was playing predominantly house.
All right.
House like Bad Boy Bill and Richard Vision, Fatboy Slim, etc.
All right.
And then I got the big room bug, you could say,
Yeah.
where I was still playing a house, but I also, because of the radio stuff I did and
Yeah.
the other gigs or jobs that I was associated with, I had the ability to play more genres. And so I did play the big room stuff for a while, and production wise, there was a wide range when I was working with my partner as Ideal and Jaybreak. We did everything from like dubstep remixes of Pink Floyd to
Wow, a
like,
little bit of everything, huh?
yeah, like official remix for like Michelle Obama when he was doing a track with some other
Awesome.
hip hop people, and like I've always been open to doing it all.
Yeah.
But as
that's
of the
great.
last 4 or 5 years, I really did have to zone in on doing a brand,
Yeah.
and that's where I've been at house, tech house,
Alright.
and techno.
And is there a reason why you're drawn to those genres specifically?
House is just like my love.
Same.
Like, yeah, house
Same,
house is
same.
and that's where I always came back to. When I drive around, I'm always listening to electronic music, and it's predominantly house music. But I'm not open. I'm not closed off to like having
Any
it
other
be another
genres?
genre.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But like your heart is in house for sure.
Yeah,
All right. I agree.
it is.
I read in your epic bio that you took an interest in DJing when you were 10 years old. How did you get exposed to DJing at such an early age?
Yeah. Well, so this was early 90s, and when I came out here moved here from Mexico City with my family, I didn't really know much English, and I did get exposed to electronic music through some of my cousins back in Mexico at the same time. And so, not knowing what it was, the music got me right away.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know what they were saying. It was just about the beeps
You
and the
just
boops
felt
and the
it.
noises.
You
You know,
just felt it, yeah.
I'd go to sleep with my headphones on. I'd like be dancing in bed, and I'd fall asleep that way. And then it wasn't really till about 3 or 4 years later that I figured out that, oh, there's like a DJ playing these songs, and then I started learning about the culture behind it.
Yeah.
This was pre CDJs,
Yeah, like back
it was
in
just records,
Oh, right.
and I self-taught myself for a school project when I was 15, and just went.
And
from
you
there.
just kept going. I
Yeah.
love that. So can you tell me what was your very first gig like?
My first real gig, I would say, was this very nervous. It was a gig inside of a gymnasium. I remember it was like for like doing trampoline type stuff. Like all the floors were super bouncy,
Oh, nice.
and it was a really fun spot. It was in somewhere in Northern California, Davis, and I still wasn't really that good at matching beats yet. And
Yeah.
I got the opportunity. So I said, "Why not?"
F it.
And I probably never want to hear that set ever again. I know that I was
I've
mixing
had those
like
sets, yep.
house and trance and some other genres together, which probably didn't go that well then.
It was a first gig, you know, like
yeah.
it's a pass. Like we
But-
all have those.
But I'll never forget it, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't want to forget it. Like
No.
I don't want to hear the set, but I don't want to hear. I don't want to forget.
Yeah, that
feeling,
moment, that feeling. Yeah. All right. So when did you know that you wanted to pursue a career in the music industry instead of just being a hobby for you?
You should ask my parents that. I don't know. To be quite honest, I never did.
Okay, there wasn't like a defining moment for you. You just kind of kept going, and you got exposed, and you just kept going.
I knew that ever since I was a kid that this was going to be like my life.
Yeah.
And this was before knowing that any of this was possible. This is before knowing that festivals were going to be big, that
Yeah.
America was going to care about electronic music, that, you know, I was going to go DJ in Tijuana more and had a radio station in Tijuana that was doing a radio show.
Yeah,
back
more
then.
FM, right?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Like my dad used to work there back in the day,
Huh.
and I even did a commercial for more FM.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, it was like America just wasn't there yet.
They were not ready for it.
And there was no way that I could have possibly imagined when I was 10, 13, or 15 that I would eventually like be
doing what you're doing now. Yeah.
Managing a nightclub, doing promotions for these festivals that I didn't even know existed then, you know.
Yeah.
Like I just knew I wanted to like do it.
That's wild, huh?
And here we are.
Awesome. Oh, by the way, how did you come up with your DJ name, DJ Ideal?
So there's a variety of stories to it, but the main one that's like the one that really has the meaning for it. When I was in college in Santa Cruz, the first year in college, second year. It was a group of friends that I used to hang out with, and my friend Bernie and Michelle and Mike, we were all like tossing out names, and I wanted a name that was really like that. It was like the best,
Yeah.
without like being too like
cocky or whatever,
you know,
like
and
the best DJ.
yeah.
Ideal is it runs well.
Yeah, and so like that was the initial thing. I want to be the best, and then learning what ideal meant and like what the actual vision behind it is. It's really now I've realized that I will never be ideal, but I can try to be.
Yeah.
As long as I continue to try to be, then I will keep striving to be better.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
that is
because
my
you don't
ideal.
want to settle.
Correct. Because once you think you're on top, then what?
Then you just get lazy.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to keep striving to like improve. All
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I like the story.
Thanks.
All right. So wonderful. I
Might have been like hazy thoughts, and you know we had a lot of different names, but that just came.
It's just like came to you.
Santa Cruz. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. I think now it's time to hear your super sick mix.
Well, yeah.
Don't forget that everyone, whoever is listening, you can also watch the live stream on my Facebook page at Scarlett Letter Show. And we will be back in 10 minutes for the longer part of the interview. So stay tuned. And by the way, you're listening to KCR Colors Radio, the award-winning sound of states.
Charlie says always tell your mommy to meet somebody. Everybody around me's falling in love. There are some yeah, beat it. Taking the shot cause I can't take it. I don't think that they make anything that strong. So I hold on, yeah.
Tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Whoa. I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Whoa. So tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, 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 wanna go home. Whoa. Sports mode. Full control. Turn up the level, yeah, yeah.
Hey, what up, humans? We're back. And I hope you're totally loving this mix because it's bomb. Before going on the interview, I have to make a few announcements, as you already know, because it's radio. Let's see.
Sponsors.
Sponsors.
We
yeah.
love sponsors.
Yeah. Fan of podcasts? Make sure to tune in to KCR On Demand, the newest platform of entertainment for your radio hosts here at SCSU. Find us on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud at KCR College Radio. Also, North Parks Observatory is an amazing venue that you can win tickets to. So make sure to stay connected with us on social media to hear about all of our ticket giveaways on at KCR Radio or via kcrlive.com. Lastly, there's a super fun event happening this Saturday,
What?
April 20th. Yep.
420?
420 called Enter the Dank 420 edition. It goes from 8 p.m. to 4:20 a.m. Wow.
Yeah.
I see the pun there. Featuring some of San Diego's best underground DJs in a top secret location. If you're down for an adventure, then this is the event for you. And of course, my guest of the night is playing and is also one of the people presenting this event with our friend Rock the Discotheque.
Yeah. Rufio.
And
that guy.
we're also giving away tickets, right?
Yeah, we are.
All right. How are we going to do that? We actually didn't discuss how we're going to give away the tickets.
You know, we'll figure it out.
But just know we're giving away
We are.
tickets. That's all.
We are.
All right. So how did you guys come up with this idea for this event?
Which will Enter the Dank?
Yeah.
Well, so I came on as a support base originally a couple years ago now. Rufio had already been doing this series of events for
Enter the Tech.
Under the Tech stuff, for 4 years at this underground spot. And he booked me for one of them, and it was really like a vetting thing. He really wants you to he wants to test you. He wants to show you the spot, see if you're down for what it is, because it's a totally different experience.
It is.
It's a totally different experience.
It's like a real adventure, like going to Neverland.
Yeah, it really is, and so when he did it and we did the walkthrough, I was like, I love this. I've been waiting for another thing like this, and from there it was really about helping bring certain aspects of what I've done in the past to the underground stuff that he was already doing and bring it to a bigger thing. And the last one just got really out of control.
I know. I was there.
In a great way. And so that shows.
It ended a little early, but
it did. But what you were saying earlier, as far as how it all started and what it's become, the reason why I really have wanted to help bring this more to light and to make it bigger, and whether people like it or not, to make it more available to all types of people, is that things start getting a little stagnant sometimes.
Yeah.
And right now, most people that are already going out to events have already experienced the festival, have probably already experienced the camp out, have probably already experienced most nightclubs, most after hours, most after hours. But that excitement of having something new and having maybe to have to go travel somewhere, walk. Oh my God.
Or like kneel or whatever,
or crawl,
like crawl.
Maybe. Yeah. It makes you a little nervous. It might make you a little scared.
I remember my first time. I was like, where am I going? How am I getting there?
Yeah. And that's the beauty about it. And, so I recently found out an ironic part to the Neverland thing is, so Rufio's been calling it that for some time.
Yeah.
And this time for this Saturday, I'm going to be doing a back-to-back set with Mr. Kool-Aid. I don't know if you got to see who he is or what he's done, but Mr. Kool-Aid was the original founder of EDC, the EDC.
All right.
And with the Destructo and a couple other guys, and from what I was talking to him about back then in the late 80s, early 90s, he used to do a party called Neverland.
Oh, okay.
And now he was like, "What is that?" Like,
I'm like, wait, hold up.
But that's what that Rufio wanted to call this place, because it's so unique.
It is
the feeling and just the rawness of it, and just the setting. You have to be there. You have to be there.
It is. It is. It's really like a unique experience that you don't get anywhere.
Yeah, and so that excitement. Honestly, I think that's part of what has allowed this party to continue to grow more and more, because the more that people go to it, then they're like, well, I definitely got to bring these people to come see this, because they've never had this,
I know.
And
I actually, the last time I went, I brought my cousin from TJ. He's never been to an underground or anything. Like, he's like, what is this? Like, where are you taking me?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bringing Mexico in, too. That's great.
And speaking of that, I want to shift my focus to you. You're originally from Mexico City. Are you comfortable with me sharing when did you move here and why?
Sure. We moved here in '89.
How old were you?
I was 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were younger. I moved here when I was 12.
Cool. Yeah, I was 6, and the reason for it it was really my dad and my mom that decided to bring us out here. Like it wasn't like we were per se running from Mexico's
Yeah.
badness, but my dad had experienced a lot of variety of things through his professional soccer work he used to do, and he was a soccer player in Mexico, and he got to see a lot of the best sides of Mexico and a lot of the
Also
worst
best.
sides.
Yeah. Of
And he
course.
really wanted something different for our family,
Yeah.
and they did it. And it's nice to see. I think that I thank them always for bringing us out here,
Same.
based on seeing like what my sister has become. Like I have a new awesome niece now, and she's happily married.
It's different, right? It's crazy. Sometimes I think like, what would I be if I was still in TJ? It's
Right.
just like such a wild thought.
Yeah,
So I feel like I'm pretty grateful for my parents
Yeah.
too that we moved here.
I like to believe that if I stayed there, I would have still been
Being doing this
in
in,
this
in the
stuff?
music, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, same here. I think that's like in my blood.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So does that layer of your identity influence the way you think about music, like your Mexicanness?
You know, yes and no. In a sense, like I was telling you, like originally I started listening to like more dance music because
Yeah.
they didn't need words per se
Yeah.
back then. There wasn't as many vocals then, or
Yeah.
if there was, it was a few words. And so like it allowed me to really accept the music for what it was.
Okay.
Now, I love playing samples that have Latin stuff or to try to add that element.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say it's really my
Yeah,
focus.
it's not like your focus. Yeah.
Because electronic music hasn't really been able to completely endear it and
Embrace,
welcome
yeah.
it. And
Mhm.
in all reality, like what's it called, Nortec from Tijuana,
Yeah.
like they do some amazing live instrumentation where they bring banda sounds and make it into electronic music,
Yeah.
and that's
really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't see myself doing that, but I love seeing it.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
agree, definitely. Have you ever experienced any type of discrimination because of your ethnicity?
Musically or just in general?
I would say let's just focus on like the music industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just in general, yeah.
Just in general, yeah.
Musically, I don't think so.
Okay,
and
that's
if it did, then I wasn't paying attention to it.
Okay.
Because a lot of times I've noticed that if I focus on things like that, then it would probably take me
It gets
down a
in your
different
head,
path.
you know.
Yeah, like I've never really tried thinking of it as color per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that some of the things that I'm doing, there isn't too many other Mexican Latin people doing that.
Yeah.
Like I take it as a total honor that NBC gave me a chance to one day be on camera,
Mm-hmm.
and then that turned into me being still on camera now 4 years later,
Yeah.
and interviewing like solid artists and allowing me to be a voice for what is being featured
Yeah.
on such a network.
It's really important to have people like you.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you're,
thank you.
You're putting our Mexican pride like up in the air, you know?
Thank you. I've honestly never really thought about that until we started talking about it recently. And
Yeah.
it's nice to have that. I just
Mhm.
never saw it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that others that are watching
Yeah.
can relate to that.
Definitely. What are your thoughts on the representation of Latinos in the electronic music industry now that we're talking about this?
We need more. Like so many more. Especially, I've been getting the chance to work with artists like Za out in Mexico City. He's
Mhm.
doing great with like Armada Records and doing really big within the Latin Mexico scene. He's playing from like EDCs to et ceteras, and he through him I was able to connect with BFM, which is the biggest radio station in Mexico.
Wow.
And seeing the amount of fans that they have down there, the knowledge that they have on the music, the passion
Yeah, the
that they
scene,
have for it,
the scene over there, it's intense,
so
huh?
cool.
Wow.
And it's weird that there's so many big artists like that, and there's
They're
Diora.
not being talked. Yeah.
Diora,
Diora.
he's been killing it.
Yeah.
And it's but like besides him,
It's mostly predominantly white, of
Yeah.
course, you know.
and I get it, there's marketing behind it and there's all these cool
There's
things
a
behind
lot
it.
of things behind it, of course.
But like for like Diora to be bringing on things like Elvis Crespo for
I know every time
collabs.
Every time
Yes.
that he always plays like mariachi or some cumbia or something, and
Yeah.
the collab with Elvis Crespo, like that was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
And props to him. Like he's been able to put himself on the right place, but
Yeah.
it took him a lot of work, a lot of behind the scenes work, and a lot of working for some of the others that
You
were
just
on
have to
top.
work a little extra hard. That's all.
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration to create your mixes and produce?
Okay. Well, to be quite honest, for the mixes, I have to like it.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I have to like the songs, and I have to really feel the mix that I put together, and then thankfully now I've got it down to the rhythm. I just feel like the radio station stuff. I'm on my 77th episode this week coming up, and it's been just like a weekly hour mix. It's been kind of like, I guess, practice, but all my mixes, I always do them live. I don't produce them or do them on laptop. I always do live sets right on the decks.
So
and
cool.
I think it gives it an actual element of people hearing what it's like to be out, not just hearing tracks get self-mixed by Ableton, which a lot of the people do, which is fine. I get it. It's clean, but
you do you. Like,
I can
whatever.
do clean mixes without a laptop. So.
All right. You're killing it over here.
I'd rather do that like that and really give it the element. But inspiration-wise, production, recently recently I've had a lot more collabs because that helps with the marketing and the credibility and really having the reach of both artists reach more people.
Yeah, unite forces, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when like working by myself, I haven't done it as much. That's been still like one of my things that I'm working on.
Okay.
Like that I'm really like developing and like testing myself on, doing a track and deleting it because I was happy to do another one, deleting it. And now like it's like I was telling you, it's either house tech, house or techno. My inspirations tend to be songs that either I'm listening to recently or just whatever I come up with on the fly. Like I have a lot of weird ideas here and like melodies that I've sang in my own recording. And,
all right, you just draw from a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. So you run 2 record labels, Sirius Records and Docka Records. What is your role like, and what are they all about? So
Sirius, it's a partnership with myself and Tristan D, my buddy from the UK. We actually acquired that label from Judge Jules and his other partner when they founded it in the mid-90s. So we bought it from them. And we have a distributor. It's really easy. We just get to pick the songs, tell our people what to do, and then they do the rest. With Docka Records, it's been a lot more of a hands-on project. The reason with Docka Records came about with myself and my partners, Jay Brick and a couple other people, that we wanted to give a space to where we would bring on artists that we felt were representing themselves really as artists, not just DJs, not just as producers, but truly as artists.
Yeah, a well-rounded artist.
Yeah, and that maybe weren't being given a chance by some of the other labels to have quality projects, because there seems to be this gap in between where like when you're new or maybe not as big, you don't get a chance for the big stuff.
Yeah.
And fortunately it's worked out where the projects keep getting nicer and nicer for the label. But originally it was supposed to be just locals. Locals back then, when we started 4 years ago, our first release came out with a remix from Hot Fire, who are killing it right now. And then the original of that came about this little alien guy that we created. So Docka itself is an alien that came from outer space, that came to Earth to save the world and dance music from its imminent destruction.
I love that so
and that's our vision then, was that when EDM was becoming EDM and all that, like that there was this warping of the industry in where, like you were saying, people think they're better than the other and whatnot. So we wanted Docka to come down and be like, genres don't matter. Docka's going to do whatever Docka wants. Eventually Docka's going to go on tour and whatnot, but Docka's going to create this network of artists that are really like talent. And so
I love the metaphor.
It grew on. It really grew on to more than we thought. 4 releases later, we had a featuring Snoop Dogg. 2 releases later, we had a feature with Afro Man. We're about to do one featuring Rick Ross.
It's amazing.
It's
Congrats.
crazy. It's really it's even a trip to even say those names, but to associate them with our little indie label that is really, we didn't market it in a way where we're putting a lot of money into it.
Yeah,
it's all about the music, which is
definitely.
what we believe it should be.
100%.
And the artists speak for themselves, and we're happy for the roster that we've been able to put together.
All right. Thank
So
you.
go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. You currently work as a host for In The Mix on Glow Radio FM 94.9. How did it originate? Like, where do you get the vision to create it?
So that one, I had just done an interview for NBC at Basement, somebody, and I met Samantha Boyd, who's the program director at Glow with Alt 949. And a couple months later, they were talking about starting up a mix show idea. And she remembered that we had met together there. She looked me up apparently and saw that I had a little bit of radio experience. Yeah. I'd never produced my own show and hosted it. I was always either assisting or just mix show DJ or you got the part of it. And here it was, and so I really like Tristan D was my label partner. He comes from radio as well and with Judge Jules, and
All right.
he's a pro on the mic and just his delivery. And I felt that I really learned a lot from him. And even when I started, I don't think I was still that good. And through all the other projects that I had, and the people at all, and Samantha really helped shape me.
Yeah.
And notes and
It's
notes
amazing,
and notes,
huh?
and it's really like I like taking that sort of criticism.
It's so
make
important
better,
to take constructive criticism. I really appreciate that because other people will see things that you don't notice, and then you can just improve.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so now we're 77 in. We've had everything from like Avicii to Thomas
Yes.
Jack
Oh my
to
God. You're killing
like,
it, man.
It's been wonderful. And now,
Yeah.
thankfully, now we're getting requests, and now people are sending us their artists, and
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
but we also take local and up and coming people too.
Okay, a little bit of everything. That's great. So you're a promoter, writer, label boss, TV host, radio personality. How do you manage to balance all of your roles and take care of your mental health?
It's really weird when you say it like that because I never think of it that way. But when you think of it that way, that's a lot. My mental state. My mental state is I have an addiction. I've realized, and my addiction is work.
Mm,
And my addiction became work when I decided to focus on that.
yeah.
Like all addictions, I think it's not always a good thing to do it all the time.
Hmm.
But this one doesn't really. I haven't
It's
hit
not
that.
that
I haven't
bad.
hit that mark yet where like
Okay, when
where
you're.
it's bad, but like it is. It does get tough.
Hmm.
And even today, I was having a phone call about this, in which the stresses that come with all the different aspects of the different projects,
Yeah.
they can add up.
Oh yeah.
And I've had to learn to re-zone myself, focus myself, work on keeping myself calm, work on having mantras, waking up in the morning and really like having this thought of like, I'm going to be positive
Yeah.
and I'm not going to let any of the other things come along.
It's all
Because if I
about
did,
It's all about in your head. It's all in your head.
yeah, like there's a stress for the radio, stress for this, stress for this, stress for this. And if they all add up together, there's this big boom.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to have that big boom on
Mm-mm.
myself or anybody. And so I've really had to learn to like listen
balance
to
it out.
my phone has like yoga sessions, meditation sessions, all that
Okay,
stuff.
that's
to
great.
really be aware. But ultimately I think it's just about not lying to yourself.
Hmm.
Like being real with yourself and knowing what's really there and what's not.
Hmm.
Having real expectations that don't kill you, but having real honesty with yourself where you're hard on yourself. And
Definitely.
have some standards.
Yeah, I agree.
your own
like
life.
right in the middle. Like you can't like go like too hard or too low.
Yeah,
Okay.
ultimately, I think it's about you. Like you have to take care of you,
Yeah.
and I think for some time I kept trying to take care of everybody else instead of me.
That happens. That
And,
happens. You usually lose focus on yourself.
Yeah,
But
So,
it's great that you seem like you got it together. So
I practice my lines. I practice my lines. I know my script. No, honestly, like it's it feels really nice to feel like myself.
Yeah.
And just know that wherever I'm going, I'm
And
feeling like myself.
and I'm sure it helps that you're doing stuff that you love. You're immersed in jobs that you actually enjoy, and that's really, really important.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away from like the insecurities. It doesn't take away from the I reached out to this promoter and they still haven't booked me, or why is this person getting booked when I have all this stuff going on? But
It's
like
part of-
this,
it's part of it.
Like there's all this stuff in your head that you like gotta like wash it off, and
It's all about perspective, and you
it
just
is.
gotta believe in yourself.
it is
So, what are some positive aspects of San Diego's electronic music community?
a lot, a lot.
And then you can also share something that needs improvement, like really quickly.
Okay, ooh, all right.
I know
So-
we don't have much time.
No, I like
unfortunately.
it. Like with San Diego, so I don't live in San Diego anymore.
Yeah, I know you're in LA.
But it's my home. It's like it's been my home since forever. And the one thing, or there's many things that I love about it, but as far as the scene goes, I think that it actually is trying to work like a scene.
Yeah.
And like we have promoter chat rooms or like group messages that we're all checking in with each other to see if we have events going on,
Yeah.
so that we don't step on each other's toes. I remember talking about that with people in the Bay Area, and it was like, no way. Like, no way. LA probably won't ever do it. There's no way that they're ever going to share calendars, and like,
Okay.
because there's this I'm better mentality, or this I
Mm.
don't want to share mentality, or you got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But San Diego actually seems to be
We're
working together.
collaborating.
Yeah,
That's good.
together. And I think that San Diego's not commercial scene, everything that else is there, is really supportive of each other, and it's really nice to see events that are crossing genres.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the United by Bass guys, they're doing bass and house,
Yeah,
like drum
and
bass
drum
and
bass
house,
and,
drum bass
yeah.
and tech house. I'm like,
Techno, yeah.
good job, guys! Like we should be doing that. Like,
Yeah, we
there's-
shouldn't like just limit ourselves to just like strictly one genre and like if you're not there, you're not cool or whatever. you
Yeah.
know? Just, like, being-
and you know, like it's the purist or elitist
Mhm.
mentality. I get the reasons for why people are like that, and all the passion to them. You know, I had friends that for years were like breaks or die. All I do is
Oh my
break
God.
beats, and I love break beats. I
Yeah.
love them, but at a certain point, you're gonna not like it anymore, and that's you're closing yourself off from like so much more that's out there.
Yeah,
And
be
with dance music,
open-minded. That's it.
like
you know,
dance
try it
music,
out.
there's no. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next genre is,
Yeah.
because I don't think that we're gonna run out of genres.
No, it's gonna keep evolving.
Yeah.
Music always evolves.
Yeah.
Just like just like us, you know, we're just changing and growing and learning.
Yeah, and that's why I think that dance music will actually continue on for more decades to come, to a point where EDM is not going to be the only genre that's on the top of commercial underground. Yeah, commercial underground.
Commercial underground.
Because techno's coming into that, and electro's going to come back. and
Watch,
then-
maybe in a few years, techno will be on the radio, and then people are gonna hate it, and they're gonna
Well,
like.
I mean, I'm playing techno artists on the radio. You know, there's some, but it's not like commercial.
Mhm.
But like we're doing that. That's
Yeah.
part of doing this.
Yeah,
The more people hear
exposing
it,
it.
the more they're going to want it. The more they want it, then the radio stations want it,
All right. Well,
or others.
I had like a lot more questions, but it sucks that I only have like an hour of the show.
I'll come back.
Yeah, right. I appreciate you giving me a piece of your mind, and you've accomplished so much, and you're so nice and so humble. So thank
Thank you.
I think that
Yeah.
like is really inspiring. You're so
I
inspiring.
appreciate
Like,
it.
I have a lot
I
to learn
super
from
appreciate
you.
it. I'll cry by myself later when I'm thinking of this. Thank you, though.
wait.
I super appreciate hearing that stuff, because it actually helps motivate us to keep going.
Yeah, and like I feel that a lot of you guys don't get like the recognition you deserve, or you don't hear enough. Like people just assume like, oh yeah, he's just whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you now that you're flipping awesome.
I appreciate it.
And you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, I guess I'll play like just like a couple of minutes of your mix, and then we'll be back with some like, finalizing questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see.
And then we're going to give away some tickets.
Oh yeah, yeah. We still have to do that. Okay, so don't go anywhere, and I don't know why it's not.
We're just beatbox.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. We'll be back in like 3 minutes or something.
Turn up the level.
Full control. Full control. Turn up the level. Yo, give me something to dance to. Give me something to dance to.
Hey. What up? I know you missed us this past 3 minutes.
You did.
Yeah. All right. So really quickly, can you tell me what advice would you give someone that is trying to be successful in the industry?
Don't try to be successful.
Oh, all right. I like that.
Honestly, like, I've seen so many people come into this and be like, I'm going to come with all this money, I'm going to do all this stuff. And if you don't know anybody, nobody's going to care. If you don't have like a brand that is going to like you've developed that people associate with, nobody's going to care. Unless you have like a whole lot of money, like Kaboo, like,
Yeah.
you know, but then it's a whole different angle. And that's not you being as an artist. Like, I personally think it would be find what you really want to do. And the only way that you really know what you really want to do is by trying a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And then
Like
one day
you
you're
have.
like, whoa, that's the one. Yeah, like I don't know if everybody, I don't recommend for everybody to go and do everything. I mean, if you can, go for it. But like, it's if I had been able to take production classes when I was a kid and learn to produce, I would have loved to only be producing and only DJing.
Yeah.
That would have, because DJing is the thing that really allows
what-
me to be me.
All right.
I love all the other things that I've been a part of because they've helped me in growth and development and networking, which is key.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have really liked to just focus on that.
Oh, all right. Well, you can still focus.
I still
on
am.
that,
No,
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, like I just released Keeper
Oh,
featuring
yeah, you were
Lady
gonna
Verse.
tell me something about a music video?
Yeah, so we just finally launched the music video when this past Ultra weekend. I played at Ultra on Resistance. Stage was great, and then we released our music video for Keeper finally, and the song had already hit the Billboard charts, the Beatport charts, and
Yeah.
had some support.
Wow.
And it was good, and
So
we
proud of
came
you.
out with the music video. EDM.com, thank you, featured it, and so now you know featuring Lady Verse, she's gonna be out here next week, DJing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Rich's, AC Lounge, and Henry's.
All right.
But yeah, we did the music video. Go check it out.
Yeah.
It was like a really awesome video. Like, I'm
Definitely.
actually like so proud of it.
I
Like,
think I'll give me the link and I'll share it on my
will.
page for sure.
I will.
So, can you tell me about your upcoming gigs? Is this just 420 or do you have anything else coming up?
I can. What do I have? I have. So we have 420 with
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, and we have Tino Bad Beat from Las Vegas coming in to represent. And then I go play here in San Diego again next Saturday for the brunch that we do with Enter the Tech.
Okay.
At the Rail.
Oh, I never tried that.
You should come. Yeah, we only do fourth Saturday of the month,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's been really cool. Last one we had Joe P and Chris Rivera.
Awesome.
Um,
Chris is awesome. I had him last.
Yeah,
next
Chris
week,
is
yeah.
awesome. He's
Also,
an
like,
OG.
this is like super random. Your birthday is the same birthday as my mom's, April 30th.
Yeah, El Nino. Woo!
Do you have any big plans for your birthday?
Yeah, I do
coming up.
nothing. I typically do nothing.
Oh, you just relax? Okay.
Yeah, like
That's cool.
so. Technically, like my birthday party is 420, and we
Okay.
count
So
down
you're
10
free.
days
Okay.
to 430. But I feel like I celebrate 420 a lot better.
All right. Yeah,
my
yeah.
birthday.
You know,
Yeah.
it works out like that.
Yeah, but it's really my family.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, what does the future hold for DJ Ideal?
Well, so like I said, I just moved up to LA area recently. The goal is to be producing a lot more. I have a lot more releases planned right now. I have a collab that I'm finishing tomorrow with Memo Rex.
Nice.
He's gonna play at Desert Hearts.
Hey.
Kill it there. I have another one with Susio that I'm working on. Working with this guy Redux Saints from LA, who represents for the DTLA brand and label. He's doing really well as well, and he's really producing.
Awesome.
I've kind of been taking a little back seat on gigs. I'm taking gigs, but I haven't really been taking as many.
Yeah.
Trying.
You got a lot going on, man.
Just to focus.
You know, you gotta focus on one thing
You
at a
do.
time sometimes.
Or at least just time manage.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Lastly, what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
That I can say that I feel happy.
It's good.
Like,
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like it's the last couple of few years have been really hard with a lot of different life changes and things, you know, like relationship stuff, et cetera, that have led me to be more just open with myself to where I am now, allowing myself to do only things that I want to do. And that has inspired to a whole other way of thinking about things, because it's like if it's not making me happy, then why would I do it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's great. That's
It's
awesome.
nice to be happy.
Yes,
Feel
it makes a difference in your life, just like
Yeah,
how you look at things.
it does. It really does.
Right. Any last shout outs or any last thing you want to say?
Shout out to everybody that's helping us out with the Enter the Dank. You know,
Enter
the
the Dank.
team that we have is really cool, and it's a big part of this. Like having a solid team that you can.
Work with and collaborate together. Like that makes a big difference that everyone's working together. Like
Makes such a huge difference. Everybody that I've mentioned today, you know, I mean, anybody that I'm working with that maybe didn't get mentioned as well.
Yeah.
Like it's all part of it.
shout out to Hello Kitty.
Yeah, Hello Kitty for our unofficial sponsor.
He literally pulled out a Hello Kitty plush from his
From my Damascus jacket.
From his jacket. Like no big deal. I
Yeah,
love
you know,
that.
just rolling with it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here once again.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that tuned in and that watched the live stream. I appreciate you all. I will be uploading everything on YouTube, like as you already know. So if you missed it or you
Yeah.
want to hear us again or watch us again.
Yeah, and to
Go
win
back.
tickets.
Yeah, and to win tickets, I will make a post soon, and all you'll have to do is like repost it. We'll figure it out, okay?
Yeah, we'll let you know what
we'll
you
let
gotta
you
do.
know what we're gonna do, but just stay tuned, and I'll see you this Saturday at Enter the Dank. I hope I see you there, and then next Thursday too.
And just to remember, like, bring walking shoes.
Oh yeah. Please don't wear heels, women out there,
Or men.
Or men. You know, anyone. Just don't wear heels and wear some shoes that are meant to be like walked on.
Danced
Yeah,
on.
and dance, walk, like.
Damn.
Yeah. Just be prepared. Bring a flashlight. Oh wait, no, you can use your phone too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just be ready for an adventure of a lifetime.
Yes.
All right. See ya.
See you
Have a
Never
good
Never
night.
Land.